In the last night's debate, J.D. Vance seemed quite confused as to what the vice president really is and does. And so I'm not going to go into a full detail. I'm going to just provide for you a link. And it's the best article I've read so far. And you can use that to dissuade anyone who seems to be under the notion that a vice president is in charge of everything. But let's understand what he was trying to do was put down our current administration of Joe Biden as president and Kamala Harris as vice president, as if things were as bad as or as bad now as they were when they came into power. And that is not true. The fact is, we are so much better than we ever were. Yes, it is true that Donald Trump left this country in such bad shape that it took years for us to recover. There is a rule that you must remember, that for the first 2 years of a new president, he or she in this case is riding the wave of either success or failure of the last president. Let me repeat that. For the first 2 years of a new president, that person is riding the wave of either its success or failure of the last president. When Barack Obama became president, for the first 2 years, we were dealing with a great Republican recession left behind by George W. Bush and the Republicans who had been in charge. It took a little over 2 years to right that ship, but the team of Obama and Biden did just that. Then Donald Trump came in. The economy was thriving before he ever came down his golden escalator. Things were on fire. People were doing good. Trump got elected. Well, kind of got elected. Well, let's just say he managed to steal the White House. And then immediately he said, look at my economy. Look what I've done. I've done so good. Gee, Donnie, what'd you do? It's kind of like when he inherited his great wealth from dear old Fred Trump. He said, it was like if he could talk the minute he came out of his mama, he would say, well, look at this great riches I have created on day one. Hogwash. The man is just an egotistical nitwit. Now, the fact was, he rode that great wave left for him by the team of Obama and Biden. The economy was going good. And he kept saying, look, my economy. No, Donald, you started to weaken that economy. And the economy under Donald Trump began to go downhill. And matter of fact, by the third year, first 2 years of a new president is either riding the wave of success or failure of the last president. In the third year, the economy began to come down and became unstable, and it was weakening. And it became weak enough that when COVID hit, the economy crashed. We were in worse condition than we were over 100 years ago when the Republicans gave us the Great Depression. That's why the Great Depression was originally called the Republican Great Depression, because the public recognized the Republicans had caused it to come into being. Donald Trump, that's what he gave us. Now, you want to remember what was it like at the end of Trump's administration? Hey, here's something we had a hard time finding. You go into all the stores. Where was it at? Could you find toilet paper? Oh, it was hard as heck. No toilet paper anywhere you look. What were you supposed to do? I told you, one fellow said he just took off he had a handheld shower nozzle for the bathtub, and where you could hold the shower around and spray yourself real good. Well, he took off the spray nozzle, so he just poured out. And he and his family would straddle that bathtub and wash themselves with that and take a towel to dry themselves off because they couldn't find toilet paper anywhere because of Donald Trump's incompetency. I use rubbing alcohol a lot, get a bug bite or anything like that. I looked everywhere. Nowhere could I find rubbing alcohol. So I finally thought, hey, what about the liquor store? So I went in, and the guy sold me, it was like $7, a lot more expensive than regular rubbing alcohol. And he said it was a type of moonshine, legal moonshine that was like 190 proof, I believe. And no, it was 94 proof. And it was not, I think, 190% alcohol, or maybe I've got them reversed. Anyway, I had to buy it there just to have some sort of alcohol to put on the bites, or if I got a cut. That's how I deal with infection. That's how I dealt with it. But all the alcohol was being used, rubbing alcohol, for hand sanitations, because Trump had allowed COVID to come in unchecked. What was it like when Trump left office? 1 million Americans were dying because of Trump's incompetency, because Trump ignored the warnings about COVID, because he was hoping it would just go away, because he was afraid that would hurt the economy and would cost him the presidency. Trump did an awful job. He thought he could just, by willpower, make everything great. Now, I would love to imagine I had special powers, like on Bewitched, where I could go, there it is. I can't wiggle my nose. But you know what? I don't, and neither does Trump. Believing is good. The power of positive thinking is excellent. However, there are limits. I can no more by the power of positive thinking cause this toilet paper to come flying to me on its own, then I can make the whole country doing good just by the power of my will. A strong leader is important, but you have to know to make things happen. If I want the toilet paper, I got to reach out and grab it. I can't just, come to me, come to me, come to me. Donald Trump did nothing. He left us in crisis. We were worse off than we were under the Republican Great Depression, because not only were we in an economic depression, we were also facing a biblical style plague upon America. Joe Biden inherited that. And if nothing had improved, who could have blamed him? He inherited a mess, and it took a lot to clean it up. But slowly, remember the rule, for the first 2 years, a new president is either riding the wave of success or failure of the last president. For Joe Biden, he inherited a wave of failures from Donald Trump. But he righted that boat, and he fixed, and now the economy is thriving. Remember, because of Donald Trump, gas prices were at $8 a gallon. However, now they're under around $3 or less a gallon. Jobs. We were facing another job. Unemployment was up because of Donald Trump. Now they're at the lowest they've been. Jobs are up. Wages are up. Yes, inflation was worldwide, but guess this. The United States had the lowest inflation rate of the industrialized world, and that was because of Joe Biden. And guess what? Inflation has come down, 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 and soon will be non-existent. It's doing so good now that the Fed has lowered interest rates. And remember, the head of the Fed is a Republican. So it's not like they're trying to do Joe Biden a favor. It's because that is the economic situation. Jobs are up. Wages are up. Inflation is coming down. Yes, we have a very serious problem with housing in America. Rents are too high. It costs too much to get a home. And prices have been jacked up by greedy CEOs. And guess who has stopped all measures to end that and make things right for all Americans? Yes, that's right, Republicans. And if there was a plan, if there was a bill that had been negotiated to stop the gouging and bring rents down and build more homes, you know darn well that Republicans would be blocking it, because just like Donald Trump blocked the border bill, just like Donald Trump encouraged Netanyahu to refuse to have a ceasefire as Joe Biden had negotiated, so would they kill any bill because they wanted an unstable economy to help Donald Trump or any Republican runoff. That is not loving America. That is not putting America first. That's putting your ego and your parties ahead of American people. Your suffering is due to Republicans, and you're going to reward that? Are you nuts, man? We have a great president, and Kamala Harris will continue us on that wave of success. So 4 years from now, she will be facing re-election, and she will be able to say, look, we have kept that good economy roaring. Jobs are up. Wages are up. Housing costs are way down now, and people are making a way forward. We have a chance to continue that success, or we have an opportunity to go back to the failures of Donald Trump. For me, I want to go forward with success, not back to failures of the Trump administration. Thank you. You all have a good night.